Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, September 7th, 2024. Down in Morongo Valley on Thursday, the Covington Park Community Room's air conditioning struggled to keep up with the standing room-only crowd that gathered there to listen and talk to the Bureau of Land Management. They're considering granting a 30-year lease to Interconnect, a company that builds giant communication towers. The one they're proposing would be nearly 200 feet tall, require solar panels, an access road, fencing, and other not-so-natural developments in the public land. This isn't the first engagement between the land agency and the private business, but some residents say that this is the first one to be so close to homes and protected wilderness. Palm Springs South Coast Field Manager Brandon Anderson didn't waste any time kicking off the meeting at 5:30 as people continue to trickle in.
I work for the Bureau of Land Management, so I am the agency who is responding to the application or the applicant who has applied for the tower.
You have the power to deny it?
But we have the power to grant, modify, or reject their application. Those are our decisions.
For a lot of folks in the room, this wasn't their first meeting over the proposed tower. The BLM had a scoping period back in early 2022, and many of the residents say they already voiced their opinion and asked questions about the proposed tower back then and never heard back. The BLM says that the project will improve telecommunication and broadband connections for Morongo and Yucca Valley communities. Most residents who spoke up said their services were sufficient. And other than a stretch of the Morongo grade that would no longer be a cellular dead zone, most of the Morongo Valley residents who showed up at the meeting on Thursday saw the 196-foot tower as a detriment to their views, their home values, their fire safety, and even their health.
So tell me, how is this tower not going to affect all of us with RF? I'm less than a half a mile away from this tower. Tell me that. I've got someone already dying in my house of cancer, and I'm not looking to get it myself or for my 15-year-old son to get it.
For both sides, it seems like getting the message across is the difficult part. After the brief break where people in the audience could submit their names for the Q&A period, the room tensed back up almost immediately, and one older resident sitting at the front of the room let everyone know that she was hoping for better behavior.
I expected adults in this room. What the heck is the matter with you guys? Come on, I'm going home.
Bye. See ya.
Grow up. Grow up.
Back to LA.
Yeah. You know what? Why don't we all be
The Q&A period took up the rest of the meeting. Audience members said they want to enjoy the wilderness tower-free, and that the birds, insects, and other neighbors adjacent to the Morongo Valley would probably appreciate that too.
What you're proposing is a 196-foot lightning rod with electricity in a fire extreme risk area. My insurance already went up 300% in 1 year, and I was lucky to get it. Now, let me ask you this question. Would you be interested in buying my house with a 200-foot tower next to it? Would you be interested in moving to an area where there's a 200-foot tower in your backyard? Would you do it?
With your family.
Would you?
I can't answer that question.
Yeah, you could.
You can just be honest.
I'll tell you what he was going to say. Hell no.
That's right.
You don't want to live by no tower.
As things wrapped up, small discussions spurred off as they usually do in meetings like this. But in these smaller groups, the tension had disappeared. I even saw some smiles and handshakes between the groups, a stark contrast to the finger-pointing and audience infighting from just a few hours before. Residents brought passion to the meeting, but the BLM is a government organization, which means they live for process and for substantive comments. If anything, those two words were the takeaway for most people at the meeting, and the Bureau even has a guide to help residents make sure their comments meet that criteria. The public comment period ends on September 16th, and the Bureau of Land Management has supplied all the material discussed at this meeting online. There's also much more information on Morongo Valley residents' concerns with the tower and Interconnect, which is the company that will build the tower and be in possession of the 30-year lease. We'll have links to all of that, plus Morongo Valley resident Gabriel Hart's early reporting on the project. That's all at Z107.7fm.com. The 29 Palms Art Gallery launches their latest exhibition tonight, and arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas joins us with a preview of some of the art you get to experience in the high desert.
The 29 Palms Art Gallery will host an art reception on Saturday, September 7th to celebrate the September exhibition. The gallery will be open all day and reception hospitality will be served on the gallery patio from 4 to 6 p.m. The public is invited to attend and meet the artist. Admission is free. The East Gallery features black and white pencil drawings by Bart Baxter in a show titled Stone Formations in Joshua Tree. The exhibition will be on display at the gallery September 6th through 29th, open Friday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information, visit 29palmsartgallery.com. Reporting for Z107.7, this is arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
There's more art openings happening in the Morongo Basin, including a new one in Yucca Valley and the return of the beloved glass outhouse. With more, here's art gala goer Jeff Harmatz.
Yucca Valley's newest gallery, High Desert Artists Center, debuts a new show today, and it's perfect for those that lived through the 1960s and those who don't remember living through the 1960s. Called 1969, the show features Joshua Tree artist Patrick Sassen's psychedelic portraits of legendary musicians, including Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, David Bowie, Joni Mitchell, and more. There's an opening reception for the show today from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Schaefer Gallery in the High Desert Artists Center, located at 55635 29 Palms Highway in Yucca Valley. On the other side of the Morongo Basin, the Glass Outhouse will reopen in tribute to founder Laurel Siddell for the first time since her passing. The gallery will debut a new show and have live music. Starting at 5 p.m. today, the Glass Outhouse will debut the group show called We're Back, featuring 8 High Desert artists, plus music from Bill and Bob, The Physicians, Mark and Friends, and a lot more. The tribute begins at 5 p.m. today at the Glass Outhouse, located at 77575 29 Palms Highway. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Jeff Harmatz.
Joshua Tree National Park has added a few volunteer opportunities for visitors who want to get more involved with science and search and rescue. Seed collection will be starting up, and park botanists and other fieldwork staff are looking for vegetation program field assistants to help with collection this late summer and early fall. There may be some other opportunities to continue volunteering with the vegetation program once the seed collection season ends. Nursery and herbarium technicians are being sought to assist with operations, including specimen identification, photo cataloging, and tasks like planting and transplanting. Volunteers for both of the plant-related positions will be available at park headquarters. And the national park will start getting even busier as cooler fall weather settles in, and there are volunteer positions available in both the search and rescue and preventative search and rescue teams. Search and rescue volunteers will require a medical clearance and pack test, and they'll be expected to respond to emergencies when requested and must attend at least one of approximately 3 training events per month. Preventative Search and Rescue, or PSAR, seeks to inform visitors with safety information at trailheads and other popular areas of the park. PSAR volunteers may be expected to hike 1 to 10 miles on assigned trails, and volunteers must live within a 1-hour drive of the town of Joshua Tree or be available for at least 10 patrols a season. And finally, entrance ambassadors are needed from October to April of next year. These volunteers help answer visitor questions, collect park fees, and check passes at the busy entrance gates. Volunteers must live within an hour of the park and may assist park staff with other tasks in the park. Each of these volunteer opportunities have a list of requirements and separate applications on volunteer.gov. We'll have the list along with some links to some excellent stories about the PSAR and search and rescue programs. That's all on our website, z1077fm.com. And here's a reminder to keep your Monday afternoon open, because the world-famous Cactus Sobel's Quilt Guild is going to meet at the Yucca Valley Community Center on September 9th at 1 p.m. The doors open at 12:30, and they're going to be celebrating their 38th birthday. The program theme will be Over the Top, which is also my favorite movie about a truck-driving arm wrestler. If you're not a member of the Quilt Guild, don't worry, guests are welcome for a $3 fee at the door. That's the Cactus Sobel's Quilt Guild this Monday at the Yucca Valley Community Center at 1 o'clock. Be there with your quilting squares. And that's your local news for Saturday. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 news team, I'm Robert Hayden.